first question, that we know that all the prophets that came to the humanity all had one agenda, which was like Tawheed, Risala, and Akhirah. But besides this, we see that like every prophet has warned us against a huge calamity, a huge test, a trial that's going to befall the humanity towards the end of times. And that fitna has especially been termed as Fitnatul Masih DAJJAL. So how would you explain this fitna? What is it going to be? And how do we relate ourselves to this terminology?
Well, I think first and foremost we better understand this word fitan. We have a psychology which is very unilateral. When we look at the word fitan, we actually think that something which is going to be really good, but it will have a very dark core and an evil core. It's going to be a very confusing thing. Yeah. Even though fitan itself does not really mean just that. If anything, at the time of DAJJAL is going to be so adverse, so devastating at an emotional level, that people who know the truth will go through the biggest state of powerlessness, helplessness, stifling, which is going to be the biggest problem for those believers. People who are going to go through trial are going to be way more in number, because they won't be able to tell the difference between right and wrong. And that's also helplessness if you look at it from a perspective that, they did not know any better. They couldn't know any better because they were not learned enough. I'm talking about people who actually would be believers, even if they were waiting for DAJJAL, and DAJJAL is going to come, they won't be able to do anything about it. And that is the biggest fitan. You have to understand, when I don't know anything which is wrong, and I'm doing something which I believe is right, and I'm doing it for Allah and Rasul, it is this is a problem. Yeah. But the bigger problem is that I know that I am going through, this is a wrong and evil man. This man has an agenda which is against my religion, my purpose, my whole belief. All of the people are going to be running towards this man. So those are the people who are going to be a minority, will be going through the worst of the worst time. At that time, everyone they will know will be running leaps and bounds towards DAJJAL. Wow. Everyone they love, their kids, their wives, everyone will be running towards DAJJAL. And those are the people, their fathers, their mothers. At that time, it'll be such a scarcity of believers, and those are the believers who are going to go through the worst problem, which is going to be the real meaning of fitan. The real meaning of fitan is not just the fact that you can't tell from right and wrong. The real meaning of the fitan is that you can tell between right and wrong, but you cannot do anything about it. This is such a big problem that people are not realizing, because it's not instilled inside our psychological construct of this word fitan. Fitan is that state where my hands are tied and I can't say anything about anything, and the people who I love the most, the things that I care about the most, are going to be burnt right in front of me, because there will be a hellfire they'll be jumping into.